this, and this thing could be over. The Charger drive about to get going, and they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right, to be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets them into a 3rd and 1 situation.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. Here's McCaffrey, and he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. On 4th down, Newton escaping the... And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Devin Bush. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive.
You better talk to your boy. You better talk to your boy. I'm going to protect you.
And the offensive penalty has us back where we started as they come up on a 1st and 10.
36.
Cook following the penalty. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Again, it's Cook. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Back to throw, Darnold. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that will break our tie and give them a 3-point lead. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The Charger drive about to get going. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. Afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. They'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right. He finds Beckham complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Adrian Amos up to make the tackle. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play.
Ready? Ready?
This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. Sliding out of the pocket. He's going to let it fly. And oh, not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. Now Newton. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Now it's Newton. Flush to his right. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives them one more chance here on 4th down. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to potentially send us to overtime. And this one is right down the middle. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So in the final minute, they turn it over to their kicker to get him back to even, and he does not disappoint.
Brandon, do you think the pressure ever gets to this guy? Because I sure don't. That was pretty smooth right there. But I tell you, he better not rest on his laurels, because there's a good chance they may need him again if this game goes to overtime.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Under 10, under 10, 10.
On the ground, it's Cook. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It'll be their 2nd and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Shotgun handoff now for Love. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down L.A. They'll run again with Love on first down. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. First throw in overtime for Newton. Dancing to his left. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. So 3rd down coming up. And, Charles, I guess the question for me, where does 4-down territory begin possibly?
I guess for me it begins if you have 4th and 5 or less, because you've got to understand your team and know what your play calls are. What do you have that you think you're confident that you can pick up that type of yardage? It might be 4th and 3 for some teams, but I think anything under 4th and 5, they'll think about going for it.
He finds his target, Beckham. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. On is the Chargers punter now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. And now a whistle and a timeout called by the kicking team. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. On is the Chargers punter now, as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Big gas. Kill.
They start the drive with Cook. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
I guess it's good we can't really read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep, give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever's in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
They run again on first down. Cook. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Darnold with his first throw of OT. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards there and a first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
First down, here's the run with Cook. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime.
Check 24, check 20.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Cook. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
2nd and 5 now. Darnold nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. That's their 2nd and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Check 3, check 3.
Now a run with Cook, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. That we just witnessed. Hard to believe.